right, we just finished our tree. We can add some highlights on there if we want. So even if your tree is dry, you can still take just a little bit of white and add a little bit of a highlight on there. Usually the highlight of the tree would go right in the center or a little bit to the side, but not on the edge, because this is kind of like a cylinder. And cylinders are not highlighted only along the edge. So kind of like that. So now I have a highlight going on. Okay, and the sides are a little bit darker. That's good. All right, let's move on into our grass. So for the texture of grass, I am going to take my brush. There's a little bit of my tree color in here, and that's great. That's great for shadows in my grass. So my base color is already on there. I am actually going to use my smaller brush. I loaded up my middle-sized brush, but I want to use the smaller one. The smaller brush allows for thinner lines. So, oh, I never rinsed out this brush completely. I need to rinse that out. Make sure that you, as you are working with acrylic paint, that you rinse out your brushes and wipe them on the side and then leave them on the tabletop there. You can wash them with soap and water at the end. Okay. Or if you really want to in between, you can. So if you're going to leave your paints for a while, make sure you wash them out with the soap and water before you go. So now this is the tree color. I'm going to use that as some of my individual grass painting areas. There's still not quite enough green there. There's a little bit more on the edge. Okay, cool. Use some of that. Add a little bit of black just for the shadowing. Just press and lift. Get a pretty good amount of paint on your brush. Reload often. I'm just going along the root of my tree to kind of show some depth. You can paint some of these over on top of the tree if you want even. It's still not quite dry for me, so it's just kind of mixing with it. Still doesn't want to quite lay on top of it. Oh well. All right, I'm gonna make some more green, so here we go. Yellow. Wipe off your back of your brush in between. Blue. And then if you remember the opposite color of green, I like to add that in there. Opposite color of green is red. So I'm gonna add a little bit of red. I'm not too concerned about this being the exact same color as the grass that's already there, because now we're adding details that can be different colors. So as long as the base color on there is the one color that I want, I can play with the darkness and the values and even different colors of the same. So different colors of green are great for this. I don't want to paint every single blade of grass. So I'm just going to do a few of them. I'm making sure there's less paint on my brush, pressing lightly on the page and just dragging it up. So there's a little bit along the edge. I'm going to let there be some longer pieces as it gets lower down. Longer pieces of grass. I want it to go over into my water a little bit for interest. Overlapping is good. I'm going to do some little bunches of grass. Lovely, lovely. We're going to add a little bit more over here. I wanted some big ones right in here to overlap. It's kind of fading into my background, so I think I need to add some white into it to make that pop a little bit more. I'm going to add some more on this side of my water. You can see how often I'm reloading my brush. So you got to go back and forth very often. As I get lower down, I'm going to get bigger. I have some that kind of are almost in the water. All right, That's higher up, so I want that to be smaller. Just kind of a texture on there. Maybe a little bit of grass there. All right. I'm gonna add a little bit of white into my green. I'll add it up here to kind of separate it out so that I can see it on top of, yeah, there we go. On top of my grass there. This is a really nice highlight. I think I'll use it in some other places. Some more interesting spaces now. Add a little bit actually over here as it gets closer to us. So the things that are closer to us are bigger. They're also more contrasting. So that means that they're lighter and darker. All right, I'm gonna go back with my green a little bit darker and kind of blend some of that. Some of that got really rough looking due to not having a lot of water in my paint. So because of that, I'm going back with my normal green, just like this, and kind of covering up some of that to kind of blend it in a little bit more, make it less rough. All right, I'm gonna just do a little bit more texturing down here at the bottom, and then we'll be done. Just kind of brushing up and down. More grass texture just here at the bottom. All right, now we have a landscape. If yours is a desert landscape, it will look a little bit different. Try to make sure your canvas is completely covered so there's not a lot of the white. So I need to cover that again. I can do that really quick. There's a little bit there. And you're done, you're ready to go. All right, make sure that when you're done, you send a photo of it to me. Have a great day, and I will see you later.